Okay, so this is the Evo 4 Floorpan project that I've been working on. You can see here, this was shortly after I got it from Sag at Jack Performance Parts. It was pretty rough. After we initially did the sandblasting on it, this is what we were left with. You can see some of the dark spots. Those are actually rust spots through the frame rails. And though they don't look like much, those kind of spots show that there's actually quite a bit of rot underneath the layers, because these are different layers of metal that are welded together. So all in all, this thing was actually in really terrible shape. Not really Sag's fault, it's just the life that the car had. So anyway, you can see some of it was just gone on the left there. There's just nothing left after the media blasting. That's how bad this floor was. We were actually missing layers. So at a lot of structural points, this one was one of the harder patches here. So yeah, that's basically how the pan came. You saw it the way I got it in some of the other videos, but this is basically what we had to deal with. That's why this project is taken as long as it has. So here you can see this is one of the rust spots. When you cut that section out, this is what you find underneath. It's just rot. So anyway, you cut that out, sandblast it out, and then weld a patch on over the top of it. So that's basically what we were doing here. You can see here's another section that was just rotted underneath, no frame rail left. So we welded patches in for each layer of steel. And these were some easier ones. This one was one of the harder ones. All of that was just gone. You can see in the corner there was just falling through. This was after the first sandblasting. You can see that whole layer was just gone. There was nothing there. This is after Dad made the new patches and welded them in. He's very awesome at sheet metal work. I am terrible at it. I can't weld. I know I need to learn, but haven't got there yet. So this is his patch work, and it's very good. So no complaints there. This is after the floor pan was done initially. After all the body work was done on it, all the patches are fixed. You can see, there's a little bit of surface rust formed as it was sitting around the shop, some welding slag on it, but all in all, at this point, it's pretty much all fixed. So yeah, there's really not a whole else to tell here. It's just that's basically what it looked like after we got it all fixed. So anyway, the next couple of shots, you'll get to see more of it fixed, as well as some of the shots before and during sandblasting. And then I have a couple of videos that I recorded on my phone that you'll get to see, and yeah, that should be it.
Okay, so just finished up some of the finishing work on the Evo 4 floor pan. Basically, got this floor pan from Sag Jack Performance Parts, and it was a mess. The rust was just ridiculous. So we ended up, a bunch of stuff has been patched on this. It should have its rigidity back. So anyway, we got all the patches done, welded in, and I just finished doing a sandblasting on it. Now all that's left is to rust treat it, and which we'll do here in a second. And yeah, after it's rust treated, then it just needs some priming, weld through primer around the edges here, and just regular primer on the majority of it, and a coat of paint, and it'll be more or less ready for me to start welding into the Mirage. A couple little areas caught that need fixed, like here, but overall no big deal. The majority of the work is finished, and there it is. Kind of hung it on some scaffolding so it'd be easier to sandblast and to work on, and that worked out really well actually. So, but anyway, yeah, so you guys wanted an update. That's about where I'm at on it. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks it'll be pretty much ready to start swapping into the car, and as soon as I get the garage back, we can get the Mirage back in there. I should be able to start cutting holes. So yeah, hopefully this will be in for the summer. Alright, so just finished up with the rust treatment. You can see it's already starting to turn black. So basically this will convert any surface rust to a non-corrosive and will prevent further rust. So this is some pretty good stuff. At least it better be, for like $8 or $9 a can or however much it was. But that's about 3 cans, 2 coats across the whole thing. The side I sprayed first, it's a little further along. But anyway, this stuff has to cure for quite a while. So today is Thursday. I am going to let it sit the whole weekend. And then, well, I'm probably not going to come back in because I have to work, but my dad is going to spray primer for me. And yeah, it'll be pretty much set to go after that's done. I think this pan had a pretty hard life before. There's some stress wrinkles in the metal here. I'm not really sure. I'm like, what in the world? But considering this was a wrecked Evo 4 and the way the rust was, it would not surprise me if this car has actually competed in a few rallies, or rather the car that this pan came from. But no big deal. The frame rails are good, and all of this is just to keep water out anyway. It's not really structural, so just gets welded in there. I didn't say anything previously, but if you're not really sure what you're looking at, this is the spare tire well, obviously. The subframe connects here, here, and here. This is where the diff hanger goes. This is your fuel tank hatches. So upper control arms bolt into these cups. When you hear me talking on the forums about the different depth of the suspension cups for the floor pans, these are what we're talking about. Evo 4s are unique. Evo 5 and 6s are pushed out further because they're wide body. These are set in more because they are narrow body. And this was the only CN9A, CP9A chassis that was like that, this being the CN9A with the deeper cups. So let's see. I think that's more or less it. There's not really a whole lot else to see here. It's just a big piece of metal. That's pretty much it. But again, hopefully we'll be able to get this started welding in next month. So May of 2014, in case it doesn't happen, and I have to reference myself. So, but hopefully it will work out. So yeah, that's pretty much it.